Well then, right then, it has been a while since we've had to do one of these videos. The rant videos, the ranty-renty videos from back in the day are back, just for now. I don't want to do this, right? I've been trying not to do this. I don't want to get angry. But I tell you what, I can't sit aside and let these waffle and disrespect my club. But thankfully it's not ranting about my club anymore. You know, the old days of ranting about Bruce, ranting about Mike Ashley. My God, there was lots of those. And I always enjoyed them at my expense and my misery. And to be fair, it was a bit of therapy for me. I like getting it off my chest. But there's not a rant to do about Newcastle anymore, thankfully, because we're absolutely class. And, you know, we're on the up and everyone at the club is amazing. And House is amazing. And everything else is absolutely wonderful. But I tell you what, people don't like that we are amazing. People don't like that we are wonderful and on the right track. And those are bitter other managers, jealous managers, you know. These don't want to see Newcastle do well. They don't want to see Newcastle kept in the little box like we used to be. Klopp doesn't know what to do with himself now that Newcastle are on the rise and finished above them last season and whatnot. And like I say, I used to do this about the likes of Steve Bruce because he's an absolute sausage. Well, now there's a bigger sausage in tune. A German sausage. A bratwurst. Jurgen Klopp, turkey teeth. He's at it again. Turkey teeth is at it again. I think he's been spending too much time in Turkey at those dentists. Too much sedatives, you know what I mean? Too much injections into the gums. It's sending him a bit loopy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Alright, before we do get Alex Ferguson, who, you know, had an interview last night at Old Trafford for the Wolves game. What on earth was he talking about? But we're going to get into Alex Ferguson later. We've got to start with Jurgen Klopp, because Klopp clearly has an agenda against Newcastle United. He clearly doesn't like Eddie Howe. He absolutely hates Brown Ale, can't stand Bridges, and he really can't stand Jason Tindall and the climb and the rise of Newcastle United, because he's been saying this from the get-go. So since Newcastle United got taken over, and he has a clip, right before we get into what he's been saying in the last few days, and then a clip of what Sir Alex Ferguson has said last night. Here is what Jurgen Klopp said a few months back about Newcastle United's takeover.
Right. There's no ceiling for Newcastle. Congratulations. Some other clubs have ceilings.
There we go. You know, Klopp was saying there's no ceiling for Newcastle United. Well done, congratulations. Bitter bastard. Not at all was he devastated there, was he? But he was wrong, because there has been a ceiling, unfortunately, or fortunately for Liverpool. There has been a ceiling. There still is. That's why we're trying to sign left-backs on loan. We might have spent 100-odd million this summer. Not much in the grand scheme of things, especially considering other clubs, but we can't do that due to FFP constraints because we haven't made much money in player sales and our revenue and everything. Klopp is acting like Newcastle United can go and do a Roman Abramovich at Chelsea in 2003. We can't. And we haven't been able to do that. He's devastated that Eddie Howe is proven to be a better manager than him. So far, I'm not saying that overall, because before we go mad, you know, Klopp is a superb manager, one of the best ever, but he's really tarnishing that legacy he's building at Liverpool now by turning it into an absolute whinge and negative, complaining, bitter old bastard. Like, I can't stand him now. I thought Klopp came into the game really enthusiastic, enigmatic, funny, and now he just looks stressed all the time, angry at everything. And to be fair, I can't blame him. He's about to lose Salah. Those are the links today to him to Saudi Arabia. He's lost his whole midfield this summer. And he's losing the plot to go with it. You know, he's getting really angry, and he's turned from that likeable German character when he first came in to a German nemesis now. He's turned into a German bad guy in the movie, you know, Die Hard. Do you know what I mean? That he's turning into such a whingy bastard. And so he's saying there at the start, a few months ago, last year, whenever it was, you know, there's no ceiling for Newcastle, congratulations. Well, there has been. But like I said before, Eddie Howe's outperformed them. We finished above them last year with spending less money than what they've spent. You know what I mean? Liverpool, he's acting like he's never spent money, Jurgen Klopp. They had the most expensive goalkeeper and the most expensive centre-back at one point when they signed Van Dijk and Alisson, you know what I mean? They've spent 80 million on Darwin Núñez. So this whole thing, like, they can't spend money. They just had a £110 million bid last week for Caicedo. Unlucky that he didn't want to join you and prefer to go to Chelsea, mate. But, you know what I mean? There is money there. You have spent money before. And if there isn't a ceiling for Newcastle, then what the hell is there for Liverpool? Do you know what I mean? Because we've proven that, in fact, at the moment at least, there is a ceiling because of financial fair play. So he's wrong on that. He's constantly getting things wrong. He's constantly waffling and talking bollocks. And then he comes out with this the other day. So those are the things that have been filtering away at him, getting him a bit annoyed, getting him railed up because there's a new kid on the block. He was thinking, oh man, I've got to compete with City already, got to compete with Pep, and I've got that old rivalry with Man United, and they won't go away. Now Arsenal getting better, and now he's got Newcastle. He's thinking, bloody hell, this has changed since when I came to England. There was just one team, you know, and I had to be Man City. So now that it's getting tougher for him and the expectations have rose at Liverpool and he's under these constraints of the owners and it's all getting to him and he has to take it out on little old Newcastle. And poor little old Eddie Howe from Bournemouth and his mad dog coach Tyndall. You know what I mean? And they've been back and forth on the sidelines. We've seen what happened at Anfield last summer. I can't wait for next weekend, by the way, at St James's Park. I really, really, really want to absolutely smash them, and I want Eddie Howe to knee slide in front of Klopp. I really do. Want Tyndall to do something. You know what I mean? I want something to happen there, and it needs to, and we need to beat them. But that's for another story next week when we get into the previews and that. But Klopp and his behaviour then, pathetic. And then recently it's got even worse. He continues to have these little niggles, these little digs and nibbles at Newcastle United and Eddie Howe. And why? What's going on? You think managing Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world, you're trying to battle with losing more players, and you're trying to sign new players, and you're trying to move up the league, and you've got Europa League to deal with this year, by the way, not Champions League, that's us. And then you've got all that going on. You'd think he'd have a bit much on his plate to then consider about Newcastle United, you know, to worry about little old Newcastle United and Jason Tyndall and that, because he was asked this in the press conference. I'll play it now.
You understand that rule?
Yeah, it's in a Champions League like that anyway. I think it's only for one team a real problem. Newcastle. Sorry.
So there you have it. He was asked about that rule and he was like, well, that's already like that in Champions League, isn't it? And there's only one club it's a problem for. Newcastle. sorry. Bloody big fucking turkey to smash him out if I see him next week. Not really. Not condoning violence, but see how angry I got there? That's what Klopp is doing. I hate these little petulant digs, man. Do you know what I mean? With these turkey teeth and he's... Oh, it does wind us up. Just looking at him like that, and those little snide remarks, you know what I mean? And all those little journalists licking his arse in there trying to pretend to laugh when it wasn't funny at all. And it's not just Newcastle that do that by any stretch of the imagination. So Arteta and Klopp can jump up and down, shout in referees' faces, swear at them, be a horrible example for the young kids that are watching at home. But because Tyndall and Howe work together on the sideline, that's a problem, is it? Right, okay, that makes loads of sense to me. That, like, even though we've never went out of our way to embarrass ourselves or be aggressive, get in the faces of fourth officials or players, and Klopp has been doing that for years now. Right, that's the problem, is it? So I don't understand that, and I don't know why he had to say that little dig. Obviously, Tyndall got all the viral memes last season because he was, you know, front of camera and he was in there and he gets about and everything, and you know, had that little limelight and it just ran as a joke. But Klopp there saying that, he takes it personally. He took it personally at Anfield. He's taking it personally now, and he's still wound up by it. It's like, mate, just let it go. Why are you bothered so much about Howe and Tyndall being together in the touchline? And he's trying to bring out something as if that was, you know, so unfair and it was unjust and we shouldn't have been getting away with it. And it's right now that the Premier League are enforcing these rules. Honestly, man, what a load of crap. What a load of crap he's coming out with again. I think it's just so sad that he had the time and energy to think, I'll have another little snide remark in Newcastle, a little dig there on Howe and Tyndall. Well, the thing is, I may be getting ranty about it, and I may be getting angry, but Eddie Howe will not give a shit. He'll be sitting there cool as out. He probably won't even know what's happening. He won't even entertain it. Hopefully someone asks him about it in the press conference this week, but he'll come back with a cool answer because, you know, he that's his demeanour, and he's not bothered about that stuff. He doesn't get himself engaged in that sort of behaviour, whereas Klopp gets wound up like a little spoilt brat. So it's a shame that a bit of success at Liverpool has changed Klopp. I thought he was a really likeable bloke coming from Dortmund, and now he just looks like an absolute wanker. So Klopp, settle down, and I really hope that he gets humbled at St James's Park next Sunday. Klopp isn't the only recent manager, though, to speak about Newcastle United. Alex Ferguson last night, I can't fucking believe this. I couldn't believe what I was watching. And even worse, I don't know if the people that are on the panel with him are nodding along in disbelief, or because I think at the start they assume when he gets asked, you know, who's impressed you this season, and he says, I'll play the clip now. There you go.
I watched Aston Villa and Newcastle, and I can't believe the scoreline. Honestly, Aston Villa played fantastic football and just lost bad goals.
So all I can think there is that they, like me watching, was expecting Alex Ferguson to turn around and say Newcastle United as the team that's impressive. After watching the game, he said. And then after watching Newcastle win 5-1, Alex Ferguson's decision was to say Aston Villa were the team that impressed him. Probably the team that was least impressive out of everyone that played football last weekend, including your local pub team. Aston Villa, right, that's harsh. Okay, to be fair, I'm just exaggerating it. But I'm saying, how can you pick a team that got beat 5-1 over Newcastle or Brighton who won 4-1 or anyone else who even did remotely well, who didn't get hammered, that weekend. How can you see Aston Villa with a team? How can you not, Newcastle, it's obviously the rivalry from back in the day. Sir Alex Ferguson, even though he won that rivalry, he beat Kevin Keegan time and time again, he beat Newcastle time and time again in the FA Cup finals and stuff. He can't let it go. He still can't get over the fact that Alan Shearer turned him down. It just still picks away at him when he goes to bed at what must be about 6 o'clock at night. To be fair, it was way past his bedtime last night. At his age, he should not have been watching that game that late last night. He should be tucked up in bed and he should be watching the highlights in the morning. That's what he should have been doing. He should have been had a Scotch whiskey, lay in bed, and he should have just waited for the result when he wakes up at about 5 a.m. He must have passed his bedtime. He was half asleep. He was delirious. And he doesn't know what's going on. Can't be getting him on television to give his opinion when he's coming out with waffle like that. You really, really can't. I mean, to be speaking about Newcastle United like that and not giving us the praise and the credit that we deserve and praising the team that we beat 5-1 makes absolutely zero sense. Too many Scotch whiskies. To be fair to him, again, he shouldn't be on TV. He should be enjoying those Scotch whiskies in the Scottish mountains, walking his dogs, or he should be having a round of golf at St Andrews, or enjoying the sea in the Maldives, just sitting there chilling. You shouldn't be there on a Monday night watching Man U play very crap, by the way, and getting a very lucky win with a referee decision again. So Alex Ferguson still got the refs on his payroll by the looks of it. Manchester United there. If you've seen the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Alex Ferguson, still waffling, still talking nonsense, still disrespecting Newcastle. What a joke that is. And, I've said it, everyone is sleeping on Newcastle United and again not praising us, but hey, fine by me. We will go under the radar, do our thing, and if we can get top 4 again this year, it'll be lovely. And I think with Newcastle United, you'll always get that now. Maybe is it because of the ownership? It's jealousy, it's bitterness, it's sadness, to be honest. It really is. Because I don't see these really sniping at Man City, I mean, have I missed something here? But Man City are the ones that have spent so much over the years and could do so when FFP wasn't a thing. And then you've got Chelsea now, who spent 900 million in 1 year of Todd Bowley's ownership. Where's the dig from Klopp on that, or Alex Ferguson on that? No, little old Newcastle. Well, grow up, the Perriers. Yeah, Alex Ferguson, enjoy your retirement, you've deserved it. Chill, man. Just stop, don't. And then Klopp, maybe you need a sabbatical. Maybe you'll leave this year, to be fair. Especially if Salah goes to Saudi Arabia, it's rumoured today. Maybe we'll just go, you know what it is, I can't do anything with this team anymore. I'm never going to beat Pep and City, especially when I'm losing my best players. I'm off. Maybe that could be the best for him. Maybe he needs a little wind down, a little year. Maybe him and Alex Ferguson go to the Maldives together, sit and do nothing. Bit of meditation, sort their heads out. That would be good. We'll finish off on a positive, light and funny note though, which is of course, I'm sure you've seen it on social media. If you haven't already, Sandro Tonali in Wetherspoons. There you go. Never thought I'd say that sentence, but Tonali was in Wetherspoons last night in Gosforth, had the reservation on the table. I don't know if someone stitched him up there, if Dan Burns turned around to him and said, listen, Sandro, you have got to try the Job Bowman. You've got to try Spoons, mate. Best thing in England. Best pub. Unbelievable. Yeah? Unbelievable, Sandy. You've got to try it. Never mind the Michelin star restaurants in Milan. Get yourself the Wetherspoons in the tune. Bottle of brown ale and the 3 small plates. Can't go wrong. Bet his missus was loving every minute of it. But that's a good little story to finish on. Okay, people, drop your comments below what you've made of this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel TV if you haven't already. And I'll see you on the next one.